It's beginning to look a lot like kickoff. The Bills, this year's Super Bowl favorite, versus DOS Rams, last year's Super Bowl champions, squaring off on Thursday Night Football. It's going to be game one of 544 regular season NFL showdowns. The football fire, it's like burning deep in my loins right now. What's up, everyone? I'm Emerson Lazia. Welcome to The Sweat, presented by Paramount Plus. Watch local NFL on CBS Games live with Paramount Plus this season. Coming up, the latest in the land of Rainmakers football. What's cooking in the mind of Jared Carrabis? That's a loaded question. And why the entire fan base of the Tampa Bay Rays wants to murder Steve Buchanan. But first, football returns in 2 days. Let's dive into some NFL futures right now with this three-headed monster. Reed T. Fowler, Pierce Dietrich, Jeff Ulrich. All right, gentlemen, hook us up. Hook us up with your go-to team win total right now in the DK Sportsbook. Jeff, I'd like you to go first, please.
Okay. Well, if Steve Buchanan is going to piss off the Tampa Bay Ray base, I might as well piss off the New York Jets base.
Yeah!
The New York Jets are plus 135 to go under 5.5 wins. And I'm sorry, I just can't look away from that value. The Jets and Robert Saleh, like I'm not sure I really believe in this coach being like the thing that is going to stir the drink here. We have an offensive-minded league, a defensive-minded coach. You've got Zach Wilson coming into his second year off no preseason hype. You've just got an absolutely like gauntlet schedule here. I think that's really what it boils down to. The Jets are going to be favored in so few games this year that I'm not really sure why this win total hasn't moved down to 5 or possibly even 4.5. I'm not even sure if this team is better than the Texans. So when you stir all these things together and then you look at just where they're weak defensively, the secondary's still not good. I still like their offensive line troubles. I just don't know where the 6 wins are coming from. And again, it really comes down to value here, people. Sorry, Jets fans, but plus 135. We're just not getting totals on this where I think you should be this bullish on an under. Give me under 5.5 wins for the Jets.
Reed, which team you looking at?
Yeah, I guess Jeff doesn't believe in Sauce Gardner this year with the Jets and the defense.
Is he going to play quarterback and wide receiver and offensive lineman?
Most of these guys probably play quarterback at some point in their NFL careers, dating back to Pee Wee. But like Jeff's playing too much on golf. I'm sure we're going to talk about something on the DP World Tour later on this week, but he's too much in golf. Minus 155 and plus 135. Those are numbers that you want to stay away from in the NFL. Look at minus 110 under. I'm sorry, we're pissing off fans on Monday here starting off. I'm pissing off the Arizona Cardinals fans because I'm going under 8.5 wins. I do not like this team to go over that right now. I do like some player features on this team individually, but if you take a look at what they do usually is they play really well at the beginning of the year, and then towards the halfway mark or towards the end, they falter. And that is an indictment on Cliff Kingsbury, maybe the health of Kyler Murray. But guess what? They don't have DeAndre Hopkins for those first 6 games. They're rolling out a lot of guys. And look, Marquise Brown does have a connection with Kyler Murray. I get that. But that's no DeAndre Hopkins. James Conner is Jeff's favorite NFL player. Chase Edmonds is no longer with the team. So this defense, too, is also struggling just a touch. They lost Chandler Jones, and they're a little bit older on that defensive line than they'd like to be. So under 8.5, they have one of the hardest schedules, guys, from week 10 on.
Yeah, they lost 4 out of the last 5 regular season games last year. Were crushed by the Rams in the playoffs. Not having Hopkins early on could 100% hinder them in the early portion of the season. Reed, you nailed that. Pierce, which team are you looking at win total here?
I like the Christmas opening. You subconsciously put me in a good mood. You should try to do some more Christmas stuff moving forward.
I would do anything to put a smile on your face.
Well, you know what else puts a smile on my face? Paramount Plus, Paw Patrol Christmas. Check that out.
Yeah!
It's a pretty good episode, guys. Look into that one. Speaking of dogs, let's go with the Browns.
Yeah!
Under 8.5, minus 155. That's, not the best juice that you could get. Hopefully you bet it earlier in the season, off season, or way back when. But hey, it's not too late to jump on this very safe bet now. Even if Deshaun Watson plays, they're still the worst team in that division. Without Deshaun Watson, this team has no chance. I mean, the only way you think they go over is if Nick Chubb absolutely carries this team. And even if Nick Chubb has an amazing season and somehow stays on the field, this is a one-dimensional offense. And he's going to be facing box after stuffed box after stuffed box. And that team all around is not really that good to begin with. I just cannot see them getting 9 wins in the AFC North for the Browns with Deshaun Watson seems pretty good. They're not going to do that with Jacoby Brissett at the quarterback for half the season.
All right, what about a player future here, Reed T. Fowler? Is there one that really catches your eye as the regular season kicks off in just 2 days?
Pierce, you created a monster. Now Emerson's going to be singing every opening, and that's not great for any of us.
I actually want to hear more about Paw Patrol on Paramount Plus. I'm not going to lie to you.
Pierce,
Definitely right on your level, Emerson. Paw Patrol, perfect for you, buddy.
That's
you get
the age
Paw
requirements.
Patrol, that takes care of like half your day right there.
See,
Pierce already in mid-season form. The segues, the call out to the sponsor, mid-season form for Pierce.
Yeah.
That's a check mark by his name. I'm actually a little off the board here with my player feature. These guys are probably going to go offense. I'm going defense. Give me Bobby Wagner, most tackles and assists. I'll stay in the NFC West. Why I like this quite a bit. I know he's in his 12th season, 13th season. He's older, but this guy now gets the linebacker position or the middle linebacker position for the Rams. They run a lot of one linebacker sets, and they run a lot of cover too. So that leaves just him on the field. And the stat team, the stat guys in the LA are extremely advantageous for a guy like Bobby Wagner, who just is all around the ball. So give me him. I know Roquan Smith is there at plus 600, but plus 800. Give me Bobby Wagner to have the most tackles and assists in the NFL this season.
all right, Pierce Dietrich, best NFL future to bet before week 1.
DK Metcalf over 66.5 receptions, over 6.5 touchdowns. And I know people are going to worry about Geno Smith, but let's just for a second look at what DK Metcalf did over his first 3 seasons. He's averaged over this number every year. And then you look at the small sample size that he played with Geno last year in those 4 games, 20 catches, I'm rounding up a little bit, 300 yards and 5 touchdown passes. If you play that out over the course of a season, that's over 80 receptions. That's over 1,200 yards. That's well over the touchdown mark, obviously. The question is, it just comes down to Geno. And again, if you look at Geno, when he was targeting DK Metcalf, he had a 150 quarterback rating last season. Play that out over a whole season. Now, even if Geno is just average, DK is going to get to those numbers. And I don't see why Geno Smith can't be average. Yeah, did he have 2 rough seasons with the Jets to begin his career? Yeah, who wouldn't have 2 rough seasons to begin their career with the New York Jets? What New York Jets quarterback really puts up huge numbers, especially in the first 2 seasons? And then since then, he's been a backup. I don't think there's any reason that we should be completely down on Geno. I think he absolutely can be an average quarterback. And if you have an average quarterback that's healthy, then DK should be able to easily clear these numbers.
Jeff Ulrich, your player future du jour.
I'm going to stick with the wide receiver category. And look, let's not forget, this is a pass-first league. I mean, you should be bullish on some of these wide receiver overs. I'm going to go to A.J. Brown, though, and I'm going to go over 125 receiving yards. And, I mean, you just look at this number. It's not factoring in any kind of bump in targeting. I don't think people realize what is coming here. All through training camp, all we've heard is A.J. Brown is being targeted relentlessly by Jalen Hurts. It's also being told that he's dominating. He's dominated number 1 cornerbacks throughout his career. This is an absolute stud wide receiver who has put up big numbers with Ryan Tannehill. His only thing is he hasn't been able to stay on the field. But like we could say that about any NFL player pretty much from any team. So, you know, over 1,000 yards in his rookie season on 84 targets. 1,075 yards in his second year on 106 targets. A.J. Brown, again, I don't think it's being factored in, might push for 150 targets this year. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. This number is way too low, and I also think that if you're not going to go and you don't mind fading the leaders in most receiving yards this year, A.J. Brown at plus 2,500, absolutely on the table. It's a player who, again, averaged like 16 yards per reception with Ryan Tannehill. Jalen Hurts, maybe he's not perfect, but he's going to get outside the pocket. He's got good deep ball efficiency. Got to be bullish on A.J. Brown futures this year.
Let's go to the futures market for NFL awards here. So which department are you targeting, Pierce?
Let's look for MVP. Let's go a little bit longer. We'll go with the quarterback because the quarterback always wins it. How about Kirk Cousins? Everyone loves Justin Jefferson this season. If Justin Jefferson is going to have this breakout year, he's probably going to bring Kirk Cousins along with him. Everyone likes Dalvin Cook on the ground, but also receiving. So the receptions are going to help Kirk Cousins. Running well on the ground is going to open up passing lanes. Last time I checked, Adam Thielen, still pretty good. KJ Osborne, have you looked at his numbers in his second season last year? Pretty good. He's only going to get better. Even Irv Smith, a former second-round pick, if he stays on the field, he's going to be a solid contributor. They've got a new offensive-minded head coach who brought an offensive coordinator with him. The defense isn't that great. you could see him piling up a lot of points. They could possibly win this division, and we know it defaults to quarterback. He's a quarterback. He's got plenty of weapons. I mean, I don't know who's in a better spot with this long of odds. Kirk Cousins.
No one, Pierce. No one is.
Oh my God, Reed T. Fowler. I'm so happy he said Kirk Cousins with you and Jeff Ulrich on this program.
Well, because Pierce is the educated, he is the learned man, he is the institution man. He knows these things because he has a very analytical mind, and he passes the eye test. And this dovetails perfectly into my award, Emerson. Thank you for asking and going to me next. Because it's Kevin O'Connell for Coach of the Year at plus 1,600. What Pierce is saying is absolutely right. And you also got to like Kirk Cousins over 31.5 passing touchdowns. He had 33 and 35 in his last 2 seasons with archaic Mike Zimmer's offense, which is 2 yards and a cloud of dust. Now you get Kevin O'Connell here with the Rams OC. They were 5th in yards, 2nd in touchdowns, and 5th lowest in interceptions last season. So if Kirk Cousins puts up those numbers, and we know Justin Jefferson, we know Kirk Cousins probably played close to their ceiling, if not Justin Jefferson playing at his ceiling last year. It's not going to be, those guys aren't going to be the quote-unquote reason why these guys make it far in the playoffs. It could be the new head coach in Kevin O'Connell at plus 1,600. Jeff and I talked about this with you, Emerson, on the slate. Also, Dennis Allen at plus 3,000, the coach of the Saints as well. So give me those two for my favorite awards this year.
Oh, man, Jeff Ulrich, the Vikings offense may go nuclear under former Rams OC Kevin O'Connell, baby.
Look,
yeah, you like that? You like that?
I like that for fantasy purposes. These guys are taking it to another level, though. Picking a rookie head coach in a division with the Packers at plus 1,600 to get out of here. If you want a Coach of the Year ticket, go to Dennis Allen at plus 3,000. Saints have a legit shot at winning that division. Get out of here with this Viking stuff. I'm going to the best team in that division for my category, and we're going to go big. Yeah, you talked about golf odds. I got one for you here. A.J. Dillon, Offensive Player of the Year, plus 10,000. Wow. My big hot take for this show, Emerson, A.J. Dillon leads the league in touchdowns this season. What's going to happen when Devontae Adams leaves? What are they going to do? They're going to run the ball more. They're going to throw the ball more to their running backs. A.J. Dillon has already been talked about as being the 1A. There's no second running back. A.J. Dillon is part of the 1A. He's the solution, the Devontae Adams solution. Have you seen this guy's thighs? This guy is absolutely going to be a red zone force. Where did Matt LaFleur coach before he came to the Packers? It was the Titans. Guess who they had there? It's a guy named Derrick Henry. A.J. Dillon's going to get good usage this year. He's going to get tons of red zone usage. And like I said, he's got Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball. He's proven he can be a good receiver. I'm telling you, man, this is A.J. Dillon's season. Take a little slice of this Offensive Player of the Year award, because if my prediction comes through, it's absolutely going to be in the running for that award.
Can you help me out for a second? Because you're a person who's in the educational.
Hey, I'm from the streets, pal. That's where AJ Dillon. We go with the quads. We go with
Can you have multiple 1As, or can you only have one 1A?
I think one of the guys is going to be the guy, and there's going to be a second fiddle. There's just no way they can both get that type of volume.
There's no multiple 1As, Jack. You can't be 1A, 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 1A. It defeats the whole purpose of the subset.
Aaron Jones can be a fine slot receiver.
That's fine, but you're hoping for potentially an injury with this. There's no way, unless he is completely having that entire backfield to himself, that he wins this. Absolutely no way, because if Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, any one of these guys, Mike Evans even, catches multiple touchdowns, they're winning that award, not a 1A, not your multiple 1A running back. Now, even though I love A.J. Dillon, look, every one of these players that Jeff's talking about, I'm sure on his fantasy team. This is what we're going to see every week, is that any player on his fantasy team is the award getter for that week. You know this, Emerson.
I have started reading a new book this weekend, so I am a little smarter, so I can confirm what Reed is saying. There is no 1A, 1A, 1A. It's 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E.
Voice of reason.
That kind of thing. Thank you very much. Hey, speaking of A.J. Dillon, though, Packers, third best odds on the DK Sportsbook to win the Super Bowl. Jeff Ulrich, who is your Super Bowl winner bet right now?
Okay, so, I mean, again, this isn't like the Super Bowl prediction here. I mean, obviously, if I was taking a team to win the Super Bowl, I'd just take the favorite at the Buffalo Bills, but we're a betting company here. We need value, people. The NFC it's the weak division. I think it's wide open. And I think that the Philadelphia Eagles at plus 2,200 is an absolute bet there. I'm a big believer in Jalen Hurts. I already talked up A.J. Brown on the show. They've made nice moves, like adding Chauncey Gardner in the secondary already, just in the offseason, just to bolster there. The Eagles have been busy. They have experience, from last year, obviously, like the second-year head coach now. a team that's got a taste of the playoffs, I think this team is ready to take off. And I really do think that they're going to be in the mix. And you just look down the odds. You know what? Like, they're the same as the Cowboys. I mean, like, this is a different division, a different conference, than the AFC. There's just not as many teams to go through. This team can just get to the playoffs. They're going to be absolutely live. So let's go with the plus 2,200 there. I think that's where the value is lying right now.
Okay, Reed, who are you looking at?
Well, I'm surprised that Jeff didn't go with his boy, dangerous Russ Wilson. Broncos at plus
Oh, my God.
1,800.
Do not do that. Do not do that.
It's like, I mean, he's been talking about him for the last 3 months.
Or Trey Lance.
So,
Trey Lance, he's obsessed with.
Well, I agree with him with Trey Lance.
Okay,
but I mean, look, let's go. He's right with the NFC, right? And he failed to mention the Philly defense. He mentioned Chauncey Gardner. Like, that's one of the pieces that they've acquired, right? They've acquired quite a bit on that defensive side for Philadelphia. So you do like that. But he's right. The NFC is an easier division. The Rams at plus 1,200, it's extremely hard to go back-to-back, but I think that's still value because I don't think they got worse. I think they got better. But the Vikings, let's go full circle here, Pierce. Plus 3,500. Give me the Vikings. New head coach, Kirk Cousins, in the biggest game of his life, will not choke. All of those skeletons will come out. He'll start crying on national television saying, this is the one that I need to win to right all the bad ones that I've had in the previous year. So give me Kirk Cousins, Vikings, plus 3,500. Let's go.
Pierce Dietrich, bring us home here, big boy.
There's a synergy that is going on in this show, but it happens because we are all here together. We all end up on the same teams over and over. So instead of Vikings, I'm going to go with the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. I love their offensive line. I think Hurts is going to take that step forward. As they mentioned already, the defensive additions they've made through free agency. I like James Bradbury when he is not, the elite #1 cornerback. When he can be the second cornerback, he can be absolutely above average or a star. They added 2 top-end draft picks out of Georgia to this defense, along with other free agents. Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown are both #1 wide receivers. Dallas Goedert, the top 5 tight end. Quez Watkins took a big step forward last season. The running backs are all above average. Who knows? Maybe Trey Sermon finally becomes somebody. Anybody can run behind that offensive line, and then Jalen Hurts just has to take another step forward. They were a playoff team last year. Did they barely get in there? Whatever. They got in there. There's a good shot that they could have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and that could be a tough place to play, making them a Super Bowl long shot, but maybe a favorite.
Hey, Pierce, don't forget America's team plus 13,000 as well.
Yeah, I didn't forget.
Yeah.
We're presented by Paramount Plus, Emerson. Let's not, come on.
That is true, Reed, and we're just getting started here on the Sweat presented by Paramount Plus. Jared Krob is standing by. He's literally in studio, standing by. He's over there, off camera. Yeah, there you are, buddy. You're looking great. All right. How he feels about the Rays closing in on the Yankees, the Sox bringing back one of its veterans on a new deal. We're back with the takeoff. Come over. Get comfortable. Right after this.
A lot of hair.
On? Yeah, I certainly hope so. Hey, everybody. He's retweeting the DK Nation tweet right now, which you could also do by following DK Nation.
Right.
Anywho, it's a Tuesday tradition unlike any other. Hey, welcome to the first edition of The Sweat presented by Paramount Plus. Jared Carabas.
That's really cool.
We're making moves here, baby. Let's
time.
go. How was your Labor Day weekend, by the way? What did you do?
I watched baseball.
I knew you would. Was that the best part of your Labor Day weekend, just watching baseball? Anything else
That's
go
the
down?
only thing I did. Yeah,
Anything else happen at all?
I don't think I left my apartment once besides to get coffee. That was it.
I actually love that about
Yeah.
you. Speaking of moves here, dude, as we're kicking off the takeoff, Sox are making moves, right?
Yeah.
So they've went ahead and locked up Kike for the 2023 season,
Correct.
according to reports, $1 million? No,
10 million.
I almost said 10 years, $1 million.
10 years, $1 million. Yes.
A $10 million deal, 1 year. Good move for both sides here.
Great move for both sides. I mean,
agree.
I'm actually surprised because I always had a little inkling that Kike missed being in LA. I thought that he would maybe test the waters and be like, hey, like Dodgers, you
Yeah.
want me back? But I mean, I think that the relationship between him and Alex Cora is very strong. I think that Dodger fans are so great that I think he knows that he'll never be more beloved than he was in LA. But Red Sox fans love him too. Like
Yeah.
he's a pretty beloved player here. So I mean, he's got a nice little home here. He's had the opportunity to play every day. That's not something that he had with the Dodgers. He comes to the Red Sox and they're like, hey, like we'll put you at second base. We'll put you out here in center.
It's like they locked up their center fielder for next year.
Yeah,
right?
he became an everyday guy here. So the opportunity is better here. I think he's got a nice little fit here. So yeah.
This seems like a good way to check perhaps like less pressing item off the off-season to-do list as well because, man, Xander, Valdi, Waka, JD Martinez. We know Devers is going to be a free agent after next year. Rich Hill as well. This team has some big decisions to make this offseason.
A lot of decisions to make, but I think it's the pecking order is clear. Like,
Yes.
like at least you don't have to have a situation where it's like, well, where do we turn to? Like, what do we do? It's like you pay Devers, you pay Bogarts, you figure everything else out as the pieces fall. I mean, would I like to see Nate back? Sure. Well, I mean, JD. The power is diminished. I don't know that he's going to be back next year, which sucks because I love JD. But you can't have everyone back. That's just not how it works. Like there's always going to be a revolving door in certain positions. But yeah, I think you're looking at a situation now where you pay Rafael Devers. That's the very clear number one priority. Then Xander Bogaerts, and then you just figure it out as you go.
I think another priority is trying to see what a lot of these young guys can bring to the table. We have all this hype down in like Worcester and other levels. Perhaps like Tristan Casas, who they called up right over the weekend. So what was your first impressions of this kid?
He's huge.
He is ginormous. Even the picture you tweeted out of him as a kid, I'm like,
Yeah.
this was a ginormous human being from the get-go.
Yeah, I met him in 2019. It was his first time taking BP at Fenway. And it was the year after he had gotten drafted. And he, like, the camera doesn't do it justice. He's a moose.
Yeah.
Like, they call him House. That's like his nickname.
He's the size of a house.
Yes, very big individual. And actually, when he was in high school, there was a house out in the outfield that he hit a home run off of, and the only other player to do that in high school was Eric Hosmer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Current member of the Red Sox.
Current member of the Red Sox.
Big fan of his.
Alex Cora had that quote the other day. He was like, I was just sitting in my office, and I overheard Eric Hosmer going up to Casas and saying, like, it's fate that I was here to mentor you because they went to the same high school.
He's like, did you feel bad about hitting that house out there?
And he's like, oh, we all did it.
I didn't feel bad.
Did it, yeah.
What other step? Because you're always, again, you don't ever leave your apartment except to get coffee, so
Right.
you're glued into every team around the league.
Yeah.
Are there any other September call-ups from Major League Baseball you feel could impact these pennant races?
Yes, Gunnar Henderson.
Is that the Orioles kid?
Yes.
Okay. Yes!
Just got called
Nailed
up
it.
like 5 days ago. Obviously, their number one prospect, but he's the number 2 prospect in Major League Baseball.
First hit was a home run.
First hit was a home run. So, yeah, I think that he's someone that can – I mean, I'm not going to say that he's the guy that's going to carry the Orioles to the playoffs, but he's definitely someone that can inject a little bit more energy into their playoff push.
I'm glad you mentioned someone from the AL East because that is one of the most exciting races right now.
Yeah.
And the Rays are closing the gap.
Sox aren't out of it.
On the Yankees. Like,
Yeah.
what is going on? So they're 5 games back, right? What chance are you giving Tampa Bay to catch New York? And they're plus 1,800 to win the division on DK Sportsbook. Jays are plus 1,000, by the way.
Yeah.
Can they do it?
Yeah, they can. Yes, they can.
Do you expect them to do it?
Kinda.
I know, man. Like,
I mean, the Yankees have been. It's not even like they're like kind of like struggling. They've been one of the worst teams in baseball since the All-Star break.
and if you take Aaron Judge out of that lineup,
They might
bottom
not win
5.
a game.
Yeah.
They might not win a game. Thank God for Aaron Judge's health. If he went down, I mean, the Yankees probably missed the playoffs entirely. I don't think that they had a hit with runners in scoring position the entire series against Tampa over the weekend. All their runs were Aaron Judge home runs. That was it. Without Judge, they don't do anything. And then yesterday, he won that game for them.
Yep.
Like obviously Marwin Gonzalez added an insurance run, but yeah, I mean Aaron Judge is the New York Yankees.
Yes, he is.
If he's not doing anything for them, they don't win baseball games. And even with what he's been doing, they haven't been winning baseball games. So yeah, I think that if Judge doesn't keep up this torrid pace of essentially hitting a home run in every single game, what are they going to do?
Which team's more likely to catch them? I mean, the Jays have shorter odds. Do you think Jays or Rays are more likely to catch the Yankees?
I would still say Tampa.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that the Jays don't have a chance to do it. I just kind of think
Bichette's hitting 3 taters every night.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't know who has the easier schedule the rest of the way. But right now, I mean, the Rays are playing the Red Sox, and they've been somewhat easy to beat.
Yeah, they certainly have. I know that was tough for you to say. Dude, so if the Yankees blow what at one point was a 15.5 game lead, it would be the single biggest blown division lead in the history of baseball. What's the best playoff race in baseball right now, though? Because NL East, AL Central, AL East?
The NL East.
Yeah.
The NL East. Because you have, like, the AL Central right now, like, you've got the Twins, the Guardians, and the White Sox. None of those 3 teams are a threat to win a championship. But in the NL East, you've got the Mets and the Braves, who I believe are separated by a game.
Yeah, it's very
tight,
close.
and it's been a dog. So I went back and looked because I had a wrong take.
Is this history? Or are you admitting?
I'm admitting to being wrong. This is not something that happens often.
This is called growth.
Yeah.
This is kind of what we worked on last week when we had a therapy session.
100%. So I said that you could take any sample of games from any point in the season, cut it up, and the Dodgers will probably have the best record in baseball over that span. That's not true. I retract that statement because since June 1st, the Braves have the best record in baseball. The Mets, I think, are 10 games over 500 over that span. So for the Braves to still I think they cut off 10 games of the Mets' lead over that span. That the Mets have a record of 10 games over 500 just shows you how good they've been playing since June 1st. I think that's the most interesting race because you have 2 teams that could win a championship. Yeah. We're not just talking about winning a division crown, making a nice little run. The Mets and the Braves are 2 teams that could win the World Series this year.
All right, and like AL East is still up there and is an exciting race, and the only reason it is because
people are watching the Yankees blow it.
Yeah, going back to Aaron Judge putting that team like on his back. He hits 54 last night, 54th home run of the season. DK Sportsbook here is over under for the year now set at 61.5, so he's on pace for 65. Do you think that he can get there? Do you think he could get to 62? Because that would pass Roger Maris in the all-time single season list, which most people look at, a lot of people look at and believe that's the more legitimate record. Do you think he can get to 62?
By the way, Barry Bonds never failed the test. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, and I know you guys are kind of social media tight, right? Like
we're best friends.
You stalked him on Instagram forever, and he finally followed you.
Very close. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can he get to 62? Does he get to 62?
I know that he gets to 62. Yeah.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah. I don't even know what we're talking about. Like the question should be, like, he's chasing Bonds. He's not chasing Maris right now.
Okay.
Like Maris kind of sucks if you think about it. Like,
yeah.
He's not even like that good. So I think if you were to, he's not. I think if you were to look at the record, Aaron Judge is chasing Barry. Like, that's who he's chasing. Roger Maris, like, who cares?
Wait, is that your hot take for this week? Roger Maris sucks, or you got something else?
That's just a fact. That's not a take.
All right, cool. So give me your hot take then, baby. Come on. I'm feeling moist.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about this take for a little while, and it may shock you. It may shock you. And
a lot of these takes of yours shock me.
Yeah, but I don't know if this one may shock you just because of, like, one of the subjects of this take I consider very close to me, very close personal friend of mine. But here's the thing.
Billy,
come here for a second. I hope Shohei and Aaron Judge both lose the MVP. I'm sick and tired of I'm sick and tired of talking about it. It's the worst debate that I hate it. I hate it. It gives me nothing but pain, displeasure, a headache. I hope they both lose. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I don't want them to. I want them to both lose.
Wait a minute. After everything positive you have said about Aaron Judge here, best friend, future Red Sox,
we are best friends.
You want him to lose
now? I want him and Shohei to lose. I'm tired of debating about, like, oh, but this guy pitches and, like, but this guy hits a lot of home runs.
We just spent about 10 minutes talking about it.
I hope they both lose.
So who do you hope wins? Give me someone then. If you don't want these two incredible
Gary Sanchez.
Okay.
I hope Gary Sanchez wins the MVP. I don't care. I hate it. I hate this debate. It's so annoying. It's so the Shohei defenders.
Shohei went 2 taters last night.
The Shohei defenders may be the most annoying people on planet Earth, and then the Judge defenders are Yankee fans. Because there's only one person outside of the Yankee universe who loves Aaron Judge, and that's me.
You know, it's not.
I'm not annoying.
But it's not tough.
Confirm that. I'm not annoying. When I say that, you're supposed to say, you're right.
You
Billy,
have your
am I annoying?
days where you are not annoying. It's not hard to defend Shohei Ohtani.
I
So, like, I don't know
understand
why
that.
you get upset with them defending
because
them.
they force it down your throat. Like, I don't want to be told every day how great he is.
Okay.
I know how great he is.
All right. Fair enough.
The Shohei defenders will not hear an argument for Aaron Judge. If you say Aaron Judge is going to hit 65 home runs this year, be like, yo, does he pitch? What's his ERA? No. Who cares? I can pitch and hit too.
Yes, you certainly can, dude. That's why they call you the Rocket.
Yeah.
And Gary Sanchez is now the MVP.
Yeah, I hope
now the
I-
MVP. Look at the odds shifting on TK Sportsbook. He's the MVP favorite now. Wow,
Yeah.
look at the impact you have.
That's huge.
Later, babe.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Stay dry out there. It's really rainy and gross.
Yeah, I'm probably going to walk home. Who cares?
It's just that sad right now.
Yeah, Red Sox on last place.
All right, we're taking a deep dive into Rainmakers football after this break. But first, hey, we got a special message here from good friend of DraftKings,
Wow.
Kevin Hart.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a little bigger than you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Lamar, Zeke, Stephon, you've all been summoned to the Kevin verse.
You gotta be kidding me.
You're here because you're on my DraftKings Rainmakers fantasy team.
I liked him better when he was tiny.
Lamar, keep talking and I'll put you on a tiny bench. I've collected your digital player cards, and you're gonna help me build my NFT fantasy franchise so I can start crushing the competition. I need you all at 100%. Zeke, you're gonna catch a cold in that crop top. Maybe you should consider putting your belly button away. Hey, Lamar, you getting enough sleep? I seen you posting pictures in the club.
You stalking me?
Diggs, you gotta keep your hands moist so they stay soft. Nice and moist.
Please stop saying moist. We done here, man.
Well, go ahead. There's the exit. Ha!
Build a roster by opening packs and joining drops and win a share of over $1 million in prizes every week of the NFL season. Download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app to get your free full roster starter pack. DraftKings Rainmakers Football. Build, play, win.
All right, everybody, welcome back to The Sweat, presented by Paramount Plus. It is time now to dip our toes into the DraftKings marketplace with my man, Shirag here. I know, I'm saying toes and I'm
we got
using
the magic
my
fingers today. It's a Monday on a Tuesday.
Hell yeah,
So-
it is, dude. So let's go, dude. We're talking latest drops, contests, transactions, everything happened on the DK digital collectible market. So,
Got to start with the starter pack right here.
All right.
As our boy mentioned, Kevin Hart.
Let's
You
go.
can go to the promos page and claim your pack. From there, load your portfolio. In your portfolio, you will find your pack right here. From there, you load the pack page, and then you go to open pack. Once you open the pack, you will get this amazing animation that pops up to show you, hey, we're getting this party started with this Rainmakers football pack.
all right, so this is how you get into a contest with it, right?
You need this pack to get into a contest.
Okay.
So once you open the pack, you can go through and click on every single one here to check which player you received in the pack. So for example, this person received in the pack, hey, a Darren Waller. Boom.
Love him.
You can also do a quick reveal if you wanted to, so that you can check out all your cards right away, and then boom, go back to your portfolio and see how they load. From there, you're going to want to go here to click on the spot to go to Rainmakers and click the lobby. We're going to the lobby so that you can enter the player card NFTs that you received into the contest. Since the starter pack, you'll want to click on a core contest to get into one of these contests, which is core, and it gets you loaded up. Once you go into the core contest, you'll be able to select here and click show my cards only. Once you click show my cards only, you'll be able to pick each and every single card in your collection and fill a position for each one. As we go down, all you need to do next is look at your lineup and then hit submit, and you're in for week one. From starter pack all the way to the lobby in the lineup, there it is.
All right, well, Shirag, like after reading articles in DK Nation and listening to all these videos and like podcasts that Matt Kalish is doing here, like one thing I've learned is Rainmakers isn't just about the contest. So, like you also want to build your collection of cards, and we've developed the franchise score here to grade how impressive your collection is. Can you tell me and the people at home a little more about that?
Yes, the franchise score is extremely important right now. I have pulled it up. This is the franchise score preseason payout structure. This is for the snapshot that is happening on 9/7. So you'll want to go here into the Discord community and check out, you can even see here in the announcements tab, all the snapshots that we will have throughout the season. But not only that, there is a franchise score leaderboard. So if you want to check out, hey, you're building a collection, and will show you all the section of all the people that have gone through and ranked in the top 100. And if you want to see further, you'll be able to click here and see the top 1,000 Rainmakers franchise score. But the most important part of it is it's for the first 10,000. So don't feel discouraged if you just hit in the top 100 or you didn't make it into the top 1,000. Up to 10,000 people will get prizes for the preseason franchise score, which is a snapshot on 9/7.
All right, well, speaking about all those like great prizes and like the NFTs that you can win, can you hook me up with a little more information about the featured player contest in the lobby right now?
Yeah, so it's really cool about the featured player contest. We have Javonte Williams, Keenan Allen, Kyler Murray, all listed here. All you need to do is come to the DraftKings lobby and just scroll to the contest that includes these featured players. These featured players are prizes that you can win. And don't worry, even if you don't get first place, you still have an opportunity to get the prizes because there are more than one in each one. But not only that, you can also select by tier. So if you have different tiers, you can go to Elite, Legendary, Rainmaker tier, just depending on what cards you have in your collection. So you don't need to worry if you have a Javonte Williams. You want to get Javonte Williams. If you have Legendary, there's a contest for that. So all the way across, all you need to do is come into the DraftKings Marketplace lobby and you'll be able to see it. But not only that, there's also the VFriends one. There's also a VFriends contest. You don't want to miss out because this is the VFriends contest running for 4 weeks with the major at the end. You win VFriends Series 1 cards as here.
All right, before you take off, tell people where they can go to learn more about DK Rainmakers right now because season kicks off this week. This is important.
Yep. Very important to go to DK Nation. We will be updating throughout the week for all the content that we have. Our friends over at Lucky Trader have already started creating a bunch of contests that you need about building bill stacks, all the market notes that we've had as well. Also, we've had different recap contests as well. So you can check all the information out here on DK Nation. It's really important to stay plugged in here because we have the watch parties, we have the content to create, we'll have video, and all the newest drops that are coming to the DraftKings Marketplace will be found here.
All right, Shirag, love you, mean it.
Yes, sir.
Meanwhile, race fans, they don't have a whole lot of love for Steve Buchanan right now. Why they want to put his head on a spike. Plus, we play What's in the Hat right after our final break. Back here live on The Sweat, presented by Paramount Plus, but I am not alone. DraftKings contributor Steve Buchanan is here, one of my greatest friends. And Steve, before we get into what's in the hat with Garion, we have a few questions for you because you ruffled a few feathers like recently, right? Like I remember on your appearance on MLB Network last week, we talked about it here a little bit on The Sweat. You said something that really, really pissed off one particular fan base. So let's show the people real quick what went down.
We're going to talk futures bet here. The Rays right now to miss the playoffs are plus 290. Why do you think this is a good futures bet?
I love this one here. Despite them being the top team in the wild card right now by a game and a half, they have one of the toughest schedules in the league coming up in the month of September. 68% of their games are against teams above 500. They're 32-33 in those scenarios, and they're also playing 19 road games. They're 28-34 on the road this season. Look at this schedule that they have coming up. They have a combined 24 games against the Astros, Yankees, Blue Jays, and Guardians. And then some of the teams below them, like the Twins, the White Sox, some teams that are still in contention, they have some of the easiest schedules remaining. So despite the Rays being in the top wildcard team right now, I think they really struggle in September and end up missing the playoffs overall. Give me that at plus 290.
Oh, boy. So, I mean, a lot has happened since then. You brought some great information to the table in that segment there with your buddy Rojo. So after you said that, though, what happened? What was the reaction you received on Twitter? Lots of friendly messages.
Yeah, lots of friendly messages. Everybody wanting to be my friend and tell me what a great segment that was. But people were very, very angry about that. And we just watched the clip. I didn't say anything disparaging about that team. I didn't say that they were bad or they had no chance. I laid out some of the stats here. But here's some of the tweets here that people said. Fake ass Steve Buchanan. I'm still not sure what that means. The only fake ass thing in Major League Baseball right now is the New York Yankees. So like maybe that's what we should be saying is something that's a fake ass. This guy right here, this bum doesn't deserve that kind of attention. I can't disagree. There's nothing bad to say about that tweet there. He's actually 100% correct. So I can't really harp on him there. But then this guy here, Will, play this on loop in the locker room for Rays baseball. I mean, first of all, that would actually be great because before that Rays segment, I gave out 2 winners that night. So if that was playing over and over, we'd be having winners in the locker room because there were some good bets that were made there. But to think that I have that much power, that the Rays would be inspired by just stats that I was giving out, I appreciate you thinking that I'm that important, that the Rays would be fired up, that I said that, hey, I think they could miss the playoffs because they have a very tough schedule coming up. So I appreciate Will thinking that I'm much more important than I actually really am.
But here we go. If like Smokey Jackson and Yoke Yanni and Will Hatch, if they knew anything about you like I do, because you and I go back like 30 years here, like you're no stranger to bold predictions. You did this last year with your boy Robbie Ray and winning the Cy Young, and then the Toronto Hurler ended up like winning the damn thing. But it's my understanding you had a little bit of help winning that bet. And you employed that same strategy with the Rays to miss the playoffs?
Yeah, so obviously, we bring on Papa Shungo because we put the curse on Garrett Cole last year, and we all know what happened. Garrett Cole just absolutely pooped himself the rest of the season, thus allowing Robbie Ray to win the Cy Young. Now, it hasn't worked so far. Since that MLB segment, the Rays have gone on to go 5-1. That's not helping, right? That's not helping. So maybe he's just getting warmed up. Maybe he didn't have the extended spring training like the players did. So Papa Shungo needs to get his powers and his voodoo to get warmed up or something. I don't know. But all I do know is that schedule that I talked about for the Rays is still extremely difficult unless the Yankees just can't continue to play anymore. But almost all of their games coming up are against teams that are over 500, and they have a lot of games on the road. So I don't feel great about how it's going so far. Yeah. But, a wise man once said that the night is dark is just before the dawn. But the only thing is, I can't promise that the dawn is coming because going 5-1 since that segment certainly hasn't helped anything.
No, so it doesn't sound like you're very confident in that original bet. But where do the Rays' odds to miss and make the playoffs stand now?
Oh, they're absolutely crushing it. Like the odds are heavily in their favor to make the playoffs. So, looking at the numbers, I look like a damn fool. Yeah. But you know what? That's okay because you know what this is? This is television, right? This is the type of content we have. If I go out there and say the Rays are going to make the playoffs, no one's going to make a stink about it. But that's how I felt. I gave out the stats. I gave my reasoning, and I have to stand by that and face the music. If they make the playoffs, I'll be happy for them. But if they don't make the playoffs, then I have to gloat about it because this is television and social media, and you have to play that character.
Yeah, very, very true. Now, let's bring on Gary and Thorne right now, Steve. His Blue Jays are minus 2,500 to make the playoffs, plus 1,300 to miss the postseason, but that's not what we're here to talk about. What we are here to do is play the legendary game, What's in the Hat? Oh, don't show that, Billy. And let's remind the people, and once again, ourselves, I think we have finally nailed this down, right?
I think so too.
How this game works. Pick a name out of the hat. You two put them into one of the 4 categories for the night on your screen. The rules are very simple. Those are the 4 categories. You all have a pass. You each have 1 pass, which would force the opposing analysts to put that player into one of those 4 categories. Now, last week was kind of messy because, Garion, you were terrible. You were terrible. All of your players, they did not rise to the occasion. And Steve, really, like Freddie Freeman delivered. And then Telez, he didn't play. So you nailed the 0 points.
Absolutely nailed it.
Putting him in that category. So, Bukes, I think for the first time in about 3 or 4 weeks, you will be choosing first here in what's in the hat, okay? First guy, Renifo, Luis.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, to be fair, he's actually been one of the Angels' better hitters in the second half. He's hitting 289, 6 home runs, 25 RBI, which is amazing to think about. Do the Angels get on base? Like, I didn't think they do, but apparently he's knocked in 25 of them. He's scored 17 runs, so not only is he knocking guys in, when he gets on base, he's been able to score too, which was quite amazing because we need to banish this franchise, the Angels. We want to get rid of them. But good matchup tonight, 405 WARBA against lefties. I'm going to put him pretty modest. I'm going to put him in the 5 spot. But yeah, he's been doing pretty decent for somebody that you probably wouldn't even be able to pick out in a lineup. So he's been doing pretty good. But he's on the Angels, and no one realizes it.
Yeah, that's true. Last night was fun, though. Like we talked about with Jared, you had Shohei going 2 bombs, and then Mike Trout hit one. So that's not bad.
Gets the Tigers.
Yes, I know. I buried the lead there, didn't I? Nolan Arenado, Gabriel, good to have you here. Where are you putting him?
You should pass him.
You know what? I'm going to play it a little safe off the hop and just say 10 DraftKings points. I think there's a chance that he could end up with more than 20. I mean, this is a fantastic matchup against Paolo Espino, who has just been absolutely terrible for the Nationals his last 12 starts. In those 12 outings, he is giving up 2.9 home runs per 9 to opposing right-handed batters. And Nolan Arenado, who, I mean, if not for Paul Goldschmidt, we would be talking about so much more this season. He's been absolutely incredible. 10 home runs, a 181 WRC plus since the All-Star break. I think there's a chance Arenado could be like the highest scoring positional player on tonight's slate. But it's early in this game. I'm just going to put him in the 10 DraftKings point category for now.
Look at you learning a little bit here, Gary, and I like this. Okay, using that beefy brain of yours.
I still need to learn. I stink at this game.
Yeah, I know. But hey, again, last week you won. Logan Gilbert, dude.
Okay, all right. I'm okay with this one. This is my guys on the Seattle Mariners, who, I didn't think they were going to lose another game until they lost their game yesterday, but that's okay. But Gilbert's in a good spot here tonight against the White Sox. This is the second time that he's going to be playing against them. Only one unearned.
What's an earned run? I like that.
I don't know. You know what it is? All these Rays fans have been mad at me. I'm just flustered all day, all the time. But 1 unearned run on 4 hits through 5 innings in that one. His numbers in the month of August were pretty ugly, but that really came through the 2 bad starts he had against the Yankees. That's like the only guy they've been able to hit against in the second half. 13 of the 20 runs that he allowed in the month of August came in that game against in those games against the Yankees. I'm going to put him in the 10 spot here. I think he should do better than that. But I think Gilbert has a good start tonight against the White Sox.
Okay, both of you have used your 10-plus fantasy point spot already. Next, Mike Myers, brother. We're going back to the Angels, Gare Bear.
Well, see, this is where, when I thought I was being smart last pick, I actually was really, really dumb. Let's see.
Come on.
Mike Myers is not a good pitcher. I'm going to lead with that. This is someone who is making a transition from a relief role to a starting role, primarily because the Angels are that desperate. I think we should get that out of the way. But this does sort of dovetail nicely with Logan Gilbert, because Logan Gilbert suddenly is good again, only because he got to face the terrible Detroit Tigers in his last start and strike out 9 of them, even though his strikeout rate was 12% in August. Mayers, there's a couple nice things if you dig deep. He's got like a 12.2% swinging strike rate. So he does have the ability to rack up some strikeouts. The Tigers strike out so much. He's a pitcher. So I'm just going to put him in the 20 DraftKings point category and hope that he has the start of his career. Look, he's fully stretched out. He threw 96 pitches in one of his most recent outings. So he can throw 100. The Tigers are that bad. The Tigers are so bad. Mike Mayers get 20 DraftKings points tonight.
Man.
Bukes, you are floored right now, dude.
I mean, for reference, if that was passed to me, I have a 20 and a 0 spot open. I was 100% putting him in the 0. So we have like two vastly different projections for this guy.
Is this when Gabriel starts to fall off the cliff and what's in the hat? Maybe.
I think we've both fallen off the cliff.
Yeah, both of you just suck at this game.
Can you fall off the cliff and jump the shark at the same time? Because that's kind of what this game is.
Bukes, Bo Bichette, baby, hit 3 taters in a game last night.
Yep. All right. So here we go again. 20 and 0 is what I have.
Yeah.
I mean, with the way that Bichette has been hitting, though, like he has a legitimate shot to go for 20. So I'm going to put him in the 20 spot tonight. I mean, there should be a lot of offense in this game tonight with the Orioles and the Blue Jays. Both of these teams have faced each other 11 times this season. The over has hit in 9 of those games. I mean, these two teams are averaging over 10 runs per game in those 11 games. Like, they just absolutely just crush each other. It's been incredible. So with the way that Bichette has been hitting, like his season felt like it was lost as of like recently as last week. All of a sudden he's starting to turn it around, and at the right time too, because the Blue Jays need his bat if they want to, push in this playoff spot here in one of those wild card spots or whatever. But good matchup tonight against Kyle Bradish, who has just been a gas can all season long. So give me Bichette. I'll put him in the 20 spot, and God help me for that next 0 spot.
Yeah, that's right. Steve, with only the 0 spot left. Gabriel, you still have a pass as well.
Oh, I know.
Let's go.
Give me Kyle Wright.
Marcus Semien. I know. Tough.
You know what? I'm going to put Semien in my 0 DraftKings point slot. Semien's been all right this year. If you kind of lop off the first 6 weeks of the season, he's been a slightly above average hitter. He's, got over 20 stolen bases and 20 home runs. You can't really knock a guy too much for all of that, but this is a really tough matchup against Framber Valdez, who has absolutely eaten the Rangers alive this season. He's had 3 starts against Texas, 21 innings pitched, just 3 earned runs. Semien's numbers against left-handed pitchers aren't like crazy better than they are against right-handed pitchers. They're actually almost exactly the same, so it doesn't really seem like he has a platoon advantage in this spot either. So against a really, really good pitcher in Valdez, I'll just put Semien in the 0 DraftKings point category.
All right, Bukes, he has the 5+ point category left. You too still have your pass. Riley Green, Detroit Tigers outfielder.
Okay, fine. I'll put him in the 0 spot. I'm okay with that there. To be fair, he's been hitting much better as of late. As of yesterday, he just snapped a 13-game hitting streak over that span, hitting 375. Only knocked in 6, scored 10 runs. Like, if you're hitting 375 and have a 13-game hitting streak, you'd think you'd be knocking in more than 6 guys, but that is the tale of the Detroit Tigers. So, I think Gary and I are both Mayers. Like, what are we going to get out of him there? Like,
Mayers is going to get 21 DraftKings points because he keeps Riley Green off the base paths. We're both happy. This is a beautiful world.
So there's the path. If Garians actually hits, there's a good chance that Riley Green is getting 0. So there's the synergy that we need. So I'll put Riley Green in the 0 spot.
This is it. 3 names left.
I don't think there's a bad name in there for me.
Really?
Give him Kyle Wright. Give him Kyle Wright, because then he has to give him 5.
Let's go.
No, he has to score at least 5.
Who is this? Joey
Meneses. Here we go. Love Joey. Best story in baseball right now. This guy toiling away in the minor leagues from 2011.
Oh my God.
2022. No major league plate appearances for 11 years. He comes up, and since he's come up, he's hitting 339.
Yeah.
A 161 WRC plus. Joey Meneses, who is also crushing left-handed pitching. 237 WRC plus in his 46 plate appearances against Southpaws. Jose Quintana, better just throw a meatball right down the middle tonight, because Joey Meneses deserves it. This guy is the best story in baseball right now. Go Nationals.
All right. He's nicknamed Caba Joey?
Sure. I haven't watched a Nationals game in probably 8 months.
Anyone.
So.
All right. Well, it sounds like you're the biggest fan, at least tonight.
Huge.
Gentlemen, nice job. That was fun. Everybody, that is a show. The Sweat, presented by Paramount Plus, will return here at studio tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock Eastern Time. We will be live. Jesse will be back, and we are going to be on the eve of the NFL season kicking off. So we are going to hit on so many bets that you may get sick. But then we're also going to hit on some DFS chatter as well. Don't forget, slate tonight at 5 o'clock. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Thanks for hanging with us, people.